Lights, camera, action. Good evening, welcome back to In the Khud. This is October 17, 2022, 6:40 p.m. And welcome back to another iteration of We Are Gonna Figure Things Out in the Khud vlog itself and not wait for things to happen. Because that's what this vlog and that's what this entire, let's say, venture is about. What is one thing that I'm definitely doing new today is I've taken that beautiful setup I had of this light here, and then that rim light or whatever you call it, primary light, secondary light that's inside the frame. I've taken that out and put it here as my key light, and it makes me think this is actually such a good idea to have a ring light as your key light instead of the other LED light. And this is out of necessity because the LED light's charger is just broken. I don't know for what reason. It's been like on the stand forever. I haven't even moved it. Out of nowhere it's broken from inside and it's outside warranty. I don't even know how to get it repaired. It's a situation. From here and there I'm looking at the frame. I think it's good only. Looks fine only to me. It's good enough to just get rolling and get recording. Vlog number 82 spans 2 days here. 16th, that was Sunday yesterday, and today. Woke up at 8 yesterday, took Snowy down. 10 o'clock I started finalizing the Magnum reveal render. Then 1:45 dad's work show 1 shunding more than 30. It took like an hour or so. And then I resumed Magnum again. And then I kept working on Magnum only for the rest of it. Today was kind of a fascinating day. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. Woke up at 6:30, took Snowy down. 11:45, resumed work on full-time job. So while I was eating my oatmeal, I watched one video. I'm gonna start watching at least the sculpting course from CG Boost because I've just bought it because there was a 30% discount and I haven't even seen anything of it. I mean, I am forever drowning in the ocean of unfinished, just bought courses. But that's okay, right? Man's greatest treasure is his unfinished library, and in my case, it's not library of books but courses, which I will definitely get to at some point in life. So I keep striving to like at least touch them every single day. I watched that and then I just jumped into the Blender render, the Magnum render, and I'm very proud to say that I am very close now to actually rendering the video out, because the biggest thing learned today is, you see it's in a call out. Why did I ever underestimate EV? Why was I behind the hyper realism of cycles? Because cycles takes a gargantuous, if that's a word, amount of time to render things, whereas inside EV you get a pretty good result. I mean, the vanilla thing has to be managed somehow. I'm just gonna switch this off just temporarily, and this is how my final reveal, the thing that I've been worried about for so long in all these episodes, is my final reveal looks like this. And this is almost like real time. It does not take any time to get this. I just pressed it in the time that it took to bring it up. I dragged it from my other screen to here. And if you think about this looks good enough. Like, for me, this is good. Like, it looks like a realistic product. Of course, Cycles adds a layer of, oh, they might have actually shot it. I do not want that. If that is coming at the cost of 6 times or 10 times more render times, no, thank you. I'm happy with the EV render. And frankly, I do not see any reason why it's not good. If it was like real bad, I could still be like, okay, fine, it's not good. This is a good render. Don't worry about it. Another big thing that I figured out, I think today morning, in the morning session today, is the fog thing, right? I was trying so hard, but whenever in the shader, let me just have the volumetric up here. And now this volumetric thing is just a cube, which is this long if I go into edit mode. It's not the whole thing. Like outside, I have one for the entire stadium kind of thing, but it's kind of like this. And I was having this problem that I could not, when I was going to shading and I was trying to add the volume, principal volume or volume scatter, none of them were seeming to work. And that is because I was trying to do it on the bigger thing outside, and that had just planes which were extruded out. So the more normals were kind of messed up. What you want to do is, you want to take a cube, okay, and to that cube apply this shader for volume fog the way it should be. And then if it's not working out, just go into edit mode and try flipping the normals. That usually solves the problem. So I got in fog. Now this fog is something that is in fact even animated. Like if you see across, it's in the Z position. I've used this, a simple combine XYZ and frame times 50. So every single frame it is going up in the Z direction, kind of like a chill vibe, like just help. And then over here, by the time I come here, I'm just gonna animate this position towards the right, so the fog just disappears. Oh god, I hate it when you undo and undo doesn't happen. It's kind of scary, like, oh my god. And especially at this stage in this project, because I've spent so long in it, it's you don't want to mess things up. That was one thing. Then I have figured the entire timeline. I chose another, okay, I shot vanilla, right? Vanilla, I don't know why I call it vanilla. What do you call it? Vanilla? I don't know. So yeah, I figured the entire timeline. There's an opera song that's playing behind. There's a vanilla thing coming in. Then I figured the liquid chocolate texture. Again, I was facing the same problem of there's just this box and nothing happening. Of course, the big thing that I figured from last time and all these iterations of chocolate simulation was that you need to have the domain visibility keyframed inside the viewport and in render just for safe side, and then keyframed out again. Like if you see here, it's gone, comes in and it goes. The same is here with the nuts and everything. So the way the liquid is flowing, I think I am pretty much okay with it. I mean, it is covering the whole thing. I haven't done anything other than just increasing the time scale of the domain itself to 4 times the simulation. So you see the camera comes in here and stops, and then directly the next frame, and this is okay, right? No problem. And the next frame is we're going up. Over here is going to be a chocolate vanilla, so there's liquid chocolate on top of it, and then there's these nuts falling. Now this is the stage that was the last thing I was working on, and in the end we have the grand reveal of Magnum along with the stick at the bottom here, which has, for some reason I cannot see the word Magnum written on it. Yeah, that is because the vanilla stick has a stick which does not have Magnum written on it, because we want to bring the manufacturing part later. So yeah, it's almost like I've done the A to Z of the video, and now like little small details here and there, something that I'm working on. But boy, have I learned things in this particular personal project. Like every single project that I do, I'm learning a lot. But about sculpting, like getting this final product out, like the way the sculpt and everything look, like getting this thing out alone taught me so much in this particular project. I'm just so glad that I'm in a position to work on these. Like I mean, amidst all the other like 1,000 things that I'm supposed to figure out, I'm also being able to constantly remove time and grow in this area, which is like super important to me, which is very, very amazing. Having said that, we are at 8 minutes and this lighting actually feels good to me. I mean, I don't see any problem. Other than that, okay, I did not mention, I was there on my Notion page only. I just jumped into Blender for some reason. I've made a few notes as well. In Blender, if you right click at the bottom tab of the screen, this one, I don't think you can see it in 2:1. Let me just, oh God, how do I bring it up? Yeah, this bottom screen, if you right click, you can see screen statistics, system memory and stuff like those. Useful in sculpt mode when you want to see if I'm adding new vertices or geometry or how much of my memory is being eaten up, stuff like those. Bruh. Then delete all markers from dope sheet in Blender. You want to do is a marquee or a box select, press B for box select and select all these markers in this bottom region, and then while the cursor is still here, you want to press X and say delete markers. It's something very simple, but I couldn't figure out how to delete all the markers, so there it is, small things I've learned. 11:45, resume work on the full-time job. 02:25 should be, 14:25. Complete a bunch of sequential tasks, resuming Magnum. So a lot of simple things, but a lot of like, the thing with the full-time job now is there is like a ton of simple things, but it requires you to completely shift from one to the other, one brand to the other or stuff like those. So it does take up a lot of the mind memory, if you will, for like computer analogy, extending it. But yeah, that's fine. I'm willing to deal with it. In the middle, I can keep jumping into my passion thing. So I'm not trying to put a date on this, but because the render will take significantly less time, I'm hoping tomorrow evening, or if not day after evening, because I'm thinking about going to office again once a week on Thursday, primarily because it is like a good change sort of situation. I mean, I will again see on Thursday morning itself if it's like not viable, if I have like a big video to give or whatever, then I will avoid going to, but that shouldn't really happen. Just going to office once a week is kind of like a little like change in environment, which, I mean, I love the khud as much as like I cannot even probably describe in words, but sometimes just getting out and going to a different environment helps mentally. So which will mean that I'm gonna probably miss out on my documentations on Thursday, or I could just come back from office and do that. Because anyways, in other big news, I am going to the gym now at 7:30. To go there, I have to like take my membership, and yeah, it just felt like it's the right time to do it. But the last thing I was doing is this. Now what I have to do is, for this project here, all that is left to be done is I have to model these pieces of almond here, and in my nut emitter, instead of this random kind of shapes that are falling down, I'm actually going to put these here, and I'm going to use these images itself to texture paint those, just like I texture painted my Magnum, and so it will feel like actual almond pieces being sprinkled on top of the chocolate, and then we have the final reveal with. So I would say I'm 80% done with the project. So yeah, really excited and looking forward to how this comes out, and of course we'll keep you updated with the vlog. That's it for today's documentation. Thank you so much for being in the khud. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.